All right, dude, I got to move along because I have a special update. I have a Howard Stern exclusive right now.
A Howard Stern exclusive.
It was only the beginning of the week on Monday that we asked Lysa Mateu Moskowitz to go out.
Mateu, I think.
Please. Lisa, I can't even get through her name. Lysa Moskowitz Mateu, the psychic who is the author of Conversations with the Spirit World. We asked her to go out and find Chandra Levy's body. She indicated to us, while being in contact with Chandra Levy, that there were 4 locations for Chandra's body. Now, upon hearing this, I said, okay, come to Washington. We'll take you to the home of Chandra Levy where she was living in Washington, and we'll begin our search for the body. And Lysa Moskowitz Mateu, Lisa, you must talk up. I know you're in constant contact with the spirit world.
Could be in a trance.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you because I got a bunch of really wonderful letters and angry letters. And one of the angry letters, a guy totally didn't believe in what I did and was going to prove me wrong by having a session, having the tape recording, and that, proving it to you and playing it, sending it to Howard Stern show. And I did a reading with him today, and he was crying through the entire thing because his dad shot himself in the head. And his dad came through with the name and all details, so...
Honey, by the way...
I want to thank you.
Which reading did he get? The $500 reading, the $300 reading, or the...
What do you mean? He had a phone reading, over the phone.
Oh, so he had the $175 reading?
Yes.
One of my fans parted with $175 and also parted with his father.
He had actually... He had a $175 reading, and then he recommended his mom to call right after.
Wow.
So he was crying through the entire thing.
So you cleaned up a good couple $100 there.
Howard, you know it's not about that.
How does he know
it's not?
How would I know that? Why, if it's not about that, why charge anything?
Why charge anything? Because what am I going to do? Be a construction worker and then on my side? Why?
Why not?
If you have a gift at something, if you're
why not use your gift
artist,
for good?
If you're an amazing singer, shouldn't you make a living at it? Shouldn't you do what you love? Aren't you contributing to the universe by doing that?
Honey, how could anyone give you $175 for a reading after the travesty that occurred by sending you to Washington and nothing was uncovered? Not even a shred of evidence was uncovered.
Can I ask you something? Why did Casey leave 10 messages on my machine asking me to be back on your show?
Because I want an update.
Good for the show.
Update of what? You said it was a travesty.
No, this call, you called us and said you wanted to come on.
I did not call you. You know what? I kept the recordings. I'm not stupid. You want
Casey,
me to play
did
back?
you
want me to play back 10 You know what, Howard? Can I ask
play
you
it back?
something?
I don't care. Play it back.
Okay. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You know that Casey called me.
I'm going to ask him right now. I don't know that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Casey,
So
come
go
in
ask
here.
him.
Casey,
you don't
come
know
here.
how this call originated.
No, I
Ask
don't.
him how many times he called me.
Didn't we call her to have her back on, and then she called us for this time?
Yeah. Actually, I called her the day after we did it to try and get an update. See what
How
was
many
up.
times did you call me the day after?
I probably called you about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm doing my job. What do you want me to do?
Right, of course. No, there's absolutely
Go
nothing
ahead.
wrong with that.
And then the next day, I get a call from your publicist says that today's going to be good. That we'll have you on.
Right.
Yeah. So then what's the problem?
What's the deal?
So we have you on.
Right. I'm just curious about if it was such a travesty.
It was. I want to
why
discuss.
do you have me on? There's no update.
I'm having you on because I want to discuss the travesty that occurred.
Oh, that's not interesting to me. I'd rather get some sleep, or I'd rather talk about some things that are going to actually make a difference in your listeners' lives.
Well, let me ask you something, Lisa, because I don't understand why you're getting upset. Is it true that we went down to Washington
find anything?
And we didn't find anything?
We didn't look.
Well, honey, you said the body was 30 feet. First of all,
Wait, let me just clarify something. Weren't you supposed to be in Washington?
No, I told you that I was going to go down there, and then I changed my mind.
Gary asked me what I needed.
told you I changed my mind.
Detectors. I said I needed some sniffing dogs, but I get a couple guys from E-Entertainment with a couple
No,
shovels.
that's not the way it went down.
But Howard, you know what, Howard?
Whoa, now you're calling me a liar. Hold on.
You know what's really
Lisa,
I change people's lives on a daily basis.
Hold on, Lisa, it's Gary.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you change people on a daily basis. $175 is a big change. Go ahead.
Lisa, when we spoke on Friday, right?
Can I tell you something?
Hold on,
I'm not interested.
No, but
there are people out
why
there
not?
who want to know about the spirit world, who want to make a difference.
Who
there are
does?
people driving to work right now who hate their jobs, who I can give them some insight into how to make a change in their lives.
For $300 a minute.
I'm getting a new job.
But wait a second.
This is boring to me. This is I'd rather go cuddle with my husband in bed and get some sleep.
The fact that you didn't find Chandra Levy is not interesting to you?
Oh, you know what? We didn't look.
Wait a second. We
I
sent
didn't
you
look.
down there. You said that she was buried in 4 different places. I went down there with you. The guy had a shovel ready
You
to
didn't go
dig.
down there with me. And we
The guy
got
went down there.
Nobody dug.
You told us not to.
You wanted us to dig in
Can
the
I
water.
ask you something?
You were in 30. Wait a second. How did they bury a body 30 feet underwater? Someone got in
Can
scuba
I ask
gear?
you something?
Yeah.
If I, I got my outcome. My outcome, I spent 2.5 hours at the police department.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because half of the stuff I told them that the public doesn't know is true. Like
And what did they
what's
do
on
about it?
Chandra's phone records.
What did they do
Like,
about it?
What did they do about it? They're going to the spot today. The guy from E, Richard Wilson, faxed the map to them. Okay? I'm handling it. This is not over, Howard.
Hold on a second.
Come on.
All right, so you do have an update. You're telling me you went to the police station after, of course, the travesty on our radio station.
There's no travesty, Howard.
For
Please,
me, there
stop being
was.
dramatic.
You
know
told me
what?
you were going to
It
lead
doesn't
me
really
somewhere where
serve
I was
you,
going to find her arm.
And it doesn't really serve your intelligent listeners to think
I
that
have no intelligent
I can get,
listeners.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
How
you
do you
absolutely
know?
do. I got credible letters from intelligent listeners.
According
okay?
to the critics, I don't have any intelligent listeners.
Yes, you do. Okay.
I've read it over
the
and
bottom
over for 20
line
years.
is the fact that we even got there. You cannot tell me. You go and you find a body in
Wait a
5
second.
minutes.
I trusted
you. Wanted to
You
wrap
told
it up
me
before your show was
that
over.
we were going to find Chandra Levy's arm.
Or
You
a
have to
bracelet
look.
or something.
Or a bracelet or something.
Okay, you
so
know what?
we went to the police
They
station.
didn't look. You guys were
Look
on
where?
the radio
Look
station.
where? We were there. We had a shovel. We were ready to dig.
Who's we?
Our crew. We had people
Can I ask
there.
you something? After the things that I didn't hear the show, the things that you said about me, it is amazing that I'm even back on your station. I have no interest in debating with you. I have no interest.
Lisa, you know
if
you don't
wanna
have
make a
psychic
difference in the
abilities.
world, if you wanna
Why do
actually
people?
do you know that the people who work for you are afraid of you? That
I'll
you
do an
walk
experiment
around
with you
your
right
office-
now. I'll do an experiment with you right
You don't
now.
have to do an
If
experiment.
you have a psychic abilities, which
You
I don't.
have something that nobody would
If
know,
you had-
not something
This
you can
doesn't
speculate.
mean anything. You don't understand. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go on. You can hang up on me this time.
I'm not hanging
just
up
gonna
on
talk
you.
To your listeners.
Why?
I'm just
You don't
gonna-
have access to my listeners.
I don't? Okay, good. So then I won't even talk to you. What is your point, Howard? Can
All
you
right.
please tell me?
Okay. My point
Please
is
tell
this.
me. You know, I know you're made
I
up
wanna
of
tell
Wait,
you-
bullshit.
he's going to tell you the point, Lisa.
Who's not afraid of their
Lisa,
boss?
like
My God.
a lot of your psychic friends, and I must say you don't really listen. You talk, and you're missing my point concerning the Chandra Levy experiment that we did on the air. Nothing was uncovered. Is that
That's
true?
right, because nothing was searched.
What could we?
What could we have searched that day?
They could have
Tell me.
dug. They could have had metal detectors.
Where?
If you
Underwater?
had kept your word,
Underwater metal
if you
detectors.
had kept your word and been there
That's
like
all your
you
fault.
said.
What is Howard being
you
there
would.
going to make a difference? We sent a guy down. Howard wasn't going to dig with. If Howard dug with his own hands, that would have made a difference.
Did you ask me if I want metal detectors? I said
Did you
yes.
tell me what you needed?
Ask me if I want sniffing
You didn't
dogs.
ask us for a metal
I said
detector.
yes. You said yes.
Sniffing dogs.
Were any
Sniffing
of those
dogs?
things
You never.
there?
Wait a second. You never asked for any of these things.
You
Okay.
said we had to just dig where you told. I said you
Can
would
I
lead
ask
us.
you something?
In fact, wait, Lisa. Your exact words to me were, "Are you going to have a shovel?" And my response was, "We're going to
No,
have
I
a
didn't
shovel
even
and a
mention
pickaxe."
anything. You said, "Can you take me to this spot?"
Right.
But you know what?
But
The
now you're
fact
doing-
But you
that I
can't.
got to the
But now
spot,
you're trying
the
to-
fact
listen.
that the cops are going there, the fact that they gave me 2.5 hours with the top detectives, who they kept bringing in more and more people because
Let
the
me
things I
give you
was
my
saying
take.
blew them
Let me give
away.
you my take. If
I'm
I was
fine.
in your shoes, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to try and be empathetic with you.
You don't have to. I'm
Lisa, if
fine.
I was
I'm
in your
happy.
shoes-
I'm great.
if
I
I
don't
was-
need this.
Honey, if I was in your shoes, you don't need anybody. If you,
No, I do need people, of
no,
course.
you don't. If
absolutely
you just need suckers.
people.
If I was in your shoes, and I was on the radio, and let's say I have this thing going, I have psychic abilities, and I'm going to, all of a sudden a radio guy goes, I'm going to bring you to, I said to myself, how is she going to get out of this? And I got to
Get out of
admit, you're
what?
brilliant. Out of finding, you don't know where Chandra Levy is.
Wait,
So
wait,
I
wait.
said,
Can I ask you
have no
something?
clue where she is. So
Okay,
anyway,
so then you're telling me, then that would be the stupidest business move I could
no,
ever
it was
do.
smart. So you killed time for an hour looking for a cop, which you
Okay.
never ever said you
Oh my
all of a
God,
sudden-
Howard, you are so funny.
No, you handled it
You are-
beautifully. My
you are
dad and
funny.
I were talking about this tonight because how did she get out of it? I
Oh
said,
my
okay, how'd she
God,
get it?
you guys are funny. I
You
mean,
spent-
you're
you
really
spent an
funny.
hour of
you
our
really
time-
think your audience is that stupid?
Yeah.
Like, you really think your audience... audience.
I think there are a lot of stupid people in the world who would pay for this kind of information.
That's great.
But let me tell you something. So oh, come on, honey. You don't even believe. If you're starting to believe this, then they're going to have to lock you up.
Your act is great, but you know
Your
what?
act is great. Oh, I have an act. You're telling people you can read their palms, and I have an act.
Okay, you know what?
Why don't you come into my studio? If you're so brave, come into my studio.
I'll be there in October. What are you talking about?
In fact, you say in your website that you can read people's minds over the phone.
I said I could read people's minds over the phone.
Yeah, that's what you can channel their spirits over the phone.
Absolutely, do it every day.
So if you're on the phone right now, what is my grandfather's name?
Howard,
what is my grandfather's name?
Okay.
What is it? Contact him now.
Stop screaming so she can listen to the spirits.
All right, go ahead. Listen to the spirits.
No,
you can't do it, right?
You got to listen to me, Howard.
All right.
You got to listen to me good, because I'm going to say a couple things. If you want to talk to Tori, my husband will talk, because you make me. It is so pathetic.
What, that I don't believe you? That I don't believe you?
No, it's not about you not believing me. You're taking
I'm not allowed not to believe.
A beautiful gift, and you're saying, prove it to me. That's like saying, give me this gift.
Prove it to me.
No, we don't want the gift. They can sing, and you say, prove it. They start singing.
You're the one who said you knew where. You said you're talking. You know what? I think it's insane to go around saying you're talking to Chandra Levy. I think it's wrong to say it. I think it's wrong to say in a moment of someone's death or someone's missing, and to say that you're
family and
you're great. You are great.
This family.
1,000 people write me notebooks full of letters about how I've transformed their life.
Well, they're psychotic.
They're rubes.
So bad.
They're rubes.
That is why. You know what? Did you listen to my website? Did you?
Yes.
Why don't you call K-Rock? Why don't you call 98.7 Star? Why don't you call?
And do what?
What are we
going to do? Why don't you call every radio station I've been on? Ask them for the original tape from the show, and you listen to what I do over the radio. You listen to how.
Could I ask you a question? Why couldn't you tell me Chandra's mom's maiden name?
You are spitting on me, and that disgusts me.
I'm not spitting on you. I'm asking you a legitimate question. I flew you to see Chandra Levy.
You asked me to go there.
Okay.
You know what?
You went and you found nothing. Do you admit you found nothing? Do you admit you found nothing? Do you admit? You see, you're saying I'm spitting on you, but you think someone's spitting on you. If I say to you, do you admit you found nothing? And you say you won't admit it.
I did not find nothing.
What did you find?
I found the place. I found the person who is connected to this.
So if you found the place, why haven't
I found things that if you know what, in the end, I am so satisfied with that trip, with those situations.
Why did the police not find anything?
It is in the proper hands now.
Yeah.
They had a meeting. They called today.
Yeah. And did they get dogs? And did they find her?
Everything.
You know what's going to happen? It's in the proper place right now.
What they found.
And so this should all come out in a couple of months. This is looking real hard.
And if you have nothing else nice to say, I'm going to get some sleep now. Because all you have done since the moment you've asked me on is insult me.
I'm not insulting you. I'm asking. You're stonewalling. You're good at talking.
I do not hurt people in their times of misery. I help.
Oh, that hurts people.
I help somebody who's sick.
You don't think when somebody dies. You don't think when somebody dies and they're aching inside to talk to that person and missing and loving that person, and their moment of weakness, saying that you're in touch with them, isn't hurting them?
It's not their moment.
Harry Houdini exposed. Do you ever read the life story of Harry Houdini? Harry Houdini exposed every person who does this. He did a very simple thing. He said he said, when I die, listen to this, because maybe you don't know about it.
I do know about what Harry Houdini
What did he do?
He said that he has a code that he wants someone to break, and Arthur Ford broke the code.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. There was a word that he left his wife, and he said, when I die...
about Arthur Ford, he broke the code.
No, he didn't. Don't rewrite history.
Oh, my God.
How Arthur Ford broke nothing.
And it was in all
Send it to me, the documentation.
Said that
she never said that.
She never said it. That's not the truth.
Well, what, was it erased?
That's great. Okay.
Look,
so you know
Harry Houdini had a word.
So then you're telling me that the thousands of people that I've seen are stupid? That when I say their dad's name is Robert, it's not Robert. When I say the kid was murdered, and I tell them exactly how
You never say the dad's name was Robert. You say, I'm getting a name. I'm getting a name in R.
So did you do your research? Are you a smart person?
Do it for me. What's my grandfather's name? Get my grandfather's name for me right now.
Are you a smart person?
What is my grandfather's name?
Are you answering me? Are you a smart person?
I'm not smart, no.
Okay, so you're
not as smart as you.
Is anybody in your studio that's smart?
No.
There's nobody.
No.
Okay, I'm sure your listeners are smart.
No.
Your listeners understand that they do proper research before making a decision. You have never listened to any tapes. You want a reading with me?
Do my reading now.
Listen to me.
Do me a reading now.
Call Satori tomorrow. I will do a full hour reading on the phone with you.
No, do it now. Do it now.
Yes.
Do it now.
I am not. That is disgusting to me.
Why?
I
Why?
would give away my gift to you.
What do you mean, give it
you're
away?
giving me.
Your gift
That
is...
is absolutely something that is so demeaning to the beauty of what I do.
You know what? You know,
I would not
She's
give you
good.
the privilege.
Here's what
of
you're gonna
having
do.
A reading with me.
You're good. You're the
By
best
the
at
way
this. By the way, I want to compliment you now.
You do not have
You
to
are
compliment
great.
me with
You
that
are
way.
the best at this I've ever seen.
You know what? You know what?
You're the best.
You know
You're
why
the
she could
best
do
in
your
the
reading
business.
tomorrow? Do you know why she could do your reading tomorrow?
Why could she do it?
They gives her 24 hours to read your books and do all the research to find out what she needs to know.
Oh, I see.
24. All anybody in that studio has to do. So you're telling me you're not comfortable calling all those radio stations and asking for the original tapes?
I'm going to give you a reading.
We're better than all them.
I'm going to give you a reading now. What do you think of that?
Can I ask you something?
Would you like a reading from me?
You won't even do your research.
Would you like a
won't
reading
even
from
do
me?
your research. You don't want to know that what I do is true because that would make everything you believe wrong.
How do they know it's true?
Okay.
You're on a radio
Wait,
show and you
they
talk to
don't know
listeners?
what their father's name is. They don't know how their father died. They don't know
We don't know
what
who you
happened
got
when they were 12
calling
years
in.
old.
These
So
radio
Howard's saying, I don't know those guys. Talk to me. Talk to Howard and do
it's
for
a
him.
privilege. Do you get that?
No, the privilege is that you can't put up.
No, that's not the privilege.
You can't
the
put up.
privilege is that I do not use this gift as a way to prove to you, to prove to Howard Stern what I can and cannot do.
Can I ask you?
don't-
No, that's good. Can I ask you a question? When you go to bed at night and you put your head down on the pillow,
I feel the best I've ever felt in my
Do
life.
you really
I
believe you have
34
powers?
lives. I am making a difference in the world, and I know that inside and out, Howard
So
Stern.
you're
And You know
Superwoman.
that, and you are really doing something with your life that is making you sick inside. That is making you
Yeah.
not feel good.
I'm
about who
so
you are.
sick. I'm so
People walk
sick
around
inside.
in your office afraid of you. They walk around afraid that they're going to lose
You know,
their
she
job if
loved
they
you
don't
before you
go
weren't with
around
her.
you.
You know,
Yeah,
she's-
right,
Now,
right.
now all of a sudden you're a sick
I'm
human.
just saying. You see, I was fine. I called her up and said, "Well, we didn't find Chandra Levy. What is the update now?" Instead, she got real defensive, and she.
I love the language. I am satisfied with the outcome.
Yeah, the police have not acted on her words.
And what happens, Lisa, if in a month everything gave the police? What happens if nothing happens with that? What's that mean?
It means the police are bad.
Right. Exactly. The
'Cause
police
they don't take Lisa
They wouldn't
seriously.
listen to her.
And if you've got such psychic abilities, what do you need dogs for?
I'll tell you what, Lisa. I'll make you a deal.
You need dogs to go find the body you say you can find.
Is she still there?
Robin,
Oh.
No, Lisa, I'll put up $100 grand
Robin,
right now. I'll tell you what, Lisa. I'll tell you
no
what.
better, Robin. This doesn't serve you. And
Lisa, I'll put up $100
Robin, you know what I'm
grand.
talking about.
Lisa, I'll put
yes,
up
yes, yes, I
$100
know.
grand right now. $100 grand right now that will go to you name the charity, and you put up $100 grand. All right, because you make a lot of money.
Can I ask you something?
And
Can I ask you something,
let's
Howard?
each put up $100 grand. We'll put it in
It's not a
escrow.
game, Howard Stern. This is not a game.
Oh, and I'll give you a month to
Robin,
find Chandra
Robin,
Levy's body. If you,
Robin, you know what? This doesn't, I know you're
Ooga
the sidekick.
booga.
I know
All
you
right.
do this stuff.
Lisa,
It
here's
doesn't
my
serve you.
here's my deal with you.
Okay, the laughter, all that BS.
I'll give you $100
Do it
grand.
right now. I just,
You won't listen to me, will you?
I'm not
No, I
Mariah
won't
Carey. I
listen.
don't
No,
believe
sorry.
in
If
voodoo.
you say something interesting, which I know you're capable of.
All right, I will try and say something interesting.
Okay, what can you say that's interesting?
I will put up $100,000, and you put up $100,000, and I'll give you. You tell me the amount of time you need to find Chandra Levy's body.
It's not a game, Howard Stern. I have it in the police's hands. It's not a game.
So what happens when the police don't do anything with it?
But they are doing something with
What
it.
are they doing?
Them now.
So we should
you
be
say.
hearing something anytime.
Yeah,
What are
you-
they doing?
They're looking at, you know what, Howard?
I'm asking you.
Why don't you call them?
I don't think they're going to discuss with me any of this because they think it's nonsense.
They don't. They don't give 2.5 hours to somebody who they think is nonsense and bring in more and more detectives. and
This
bring
is-
the head computer.
This is according to you.
This is what you say.
Oh, well, obviously you don't believe
Who
anything
is
I
the
say,
officer
so why
you
are gonna
spoke with?
ask me?
Name the officer you spoke with for 2.5 hours, and I'll call him.
Okay, Detective Ward.
Detective Ward, where? In Washington?
At the headquarters.
Of headquarters of what?
The headquarters, D.C. Police, Metropolitan.
Headquarters of what? Okay.
D.C. Police Detective Ward.
Yep, and Detective Corrigan, Sergeant Corrigan.
And you claim you spoke to them for 2.5 hours.
Only Detective Ward. And then he brought in the computer guy. I don't know his name. You can ask.
All right.
So who's Sergeant Corrigan? If you only
Sergeant
spoke
Corrigan is the one who set up the meeting with Detective Ward.
to... Okay.
All right. And you spoke to them for 2.5 hours a day, and they're going to do something.
Yep.
Hey, Howard.
Yep.
We're checking articles right now. That guy Ford, he never broke Houdini's code.
Right, of course not.
And
Everybody
I
knows
have it
that.
right here. You know what?
And the other thing is,
because you write it down.
Can I tell you something? One of the things that I don't give you is the power to change my life and my perception and the belief in what I do and the belief that others have in what I do. If you choose not to believe in it, knock yourself out.
Hey,
I
Lisa,
don't believe
with
It
what you...
doesn't make one bit of
Well, how can you
difference in my
believe
life
if there's no
whatsoever.
if nothing happened? I mean, we went to Washington, and
You could have made us all believe.
you never said to us. You asked us what we were bringing.
You told me to take it at the spot. I did.
You took us to a spot and then said we couldn't dig.
That's right. amazing? How I get? Did you talk to the E guy? Did you talk to Richard?
Yeah. Howard, I just did.
Did you ask him what I did up the hill? Did you ask him that I described an entire house, an entire car, everything that
So
was...
what?
Black car.
I can describe a house in Washington, too.
Did you? No, you cannot. Not that.
Sure I could. There's a White House in Washington right now. It's got a fence around it.
You ask him.
I mean, what do you want from me? I mean,
You ask him. Are you even listening to me?
Yeah.
And
Did
Lisa
you ask
told.
Richard?
yeah, well, he's answering you. You don't listen.
Lisa told.
What?
It's coming through channels.
Richie to fax the map. It wasn't like the
that's
cops.
not what I'm
Cops
talking
didn't call Richie. Lisa told Richie. Lisa told her to.
Yeah, right. The cops didn't ask for any map.
No. She's
Right, I know.
asking for the map, and I mean, come on,
Lisa, in your for what you do for a living, every day you must find people who are skeptical of you, right?
Oh,
And do you take those skeptics and you just dismiss them?
Oh,
you don't.
no, I
You don't
do
feel a
readings
need to
for
try
them.
to prove that you can do what you do. You have this amazing gift. Don't you want to prove it's true?
I don't have to prove. I do.
But you don't have to.
Listen,
How
listen.
helpful could you
Can I
be
answer?
if people knew
Can I
that it were
answer?
true?
Can I answer?
Yeah. You see, I just want to say one thing, because this is, listen, I believe that Lisa really believes she has a power.
It's not about me believing it.
No, I'm just saying, this is my
It's not about
summation,
me. You're
because I
making
want to get
all
out
the
of this.
people-
I'm in a nightmare.
Okay, can I?
I want to say, I'll say my statement, then you can say yours.
Okay,
How's
you
that?
got it.
I'll
Yeah.
give you the last word, but first I'm going to have my word.
Yeah.
I believe that Lisa believes that she has a power. So it is insulting to her to be in this discussion. I believe she has gone so far with this that she actually lays down at night and is starting to believe she has some sort of power. And because of that, all this does is sound insulting to her. My curiosity would be, what would Lisa do if we put her in a situation where she had to find Chandra Levy's body, which she took the challenge and came. I said, how's she going to get out of this? This was my feeling as a non-believer. And she did a wonderful job of not finding the body and walking away saying, I was successful, but you guys don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to get scuba, underwater gear, metal detectors, sniffing dogs. But if you had all that, it would be there. So she has done her job. She has kept herself secure that she knows something, but no one else in the world can find it.
Her reality is not shaken.
Her reality is not shaken, and I admire her show business acumen and her showbiz pizzazz for giving us a good day that day on the air. It was a lot of fun to follow her around and see her in police stations and faxing maps. And we got what we expected. I got exactly what I expected. I just didn't know exactly how you would do it. So, Lisa, congratulations to you. And if you want a reading by Lisa.
So you're not going to allow me to say anything?
No, I am. I'm giving you a plug as well.
I don't want the plug. I want to say something.
Go ahead.
And if you want to look at it like it's what I believe about me,
Yes.
if you would take 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and like I said, it's right on my website, every radio station I have ever been on. You can listen to the live thing. If you don't trust that, if you think I changed it, you call those stations, you ask them for the tape, they will send you the tape, or if they don't, I will call them personally. After you listen to all the tapes, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt this has nothing to do with what I believe. It has to do with the evidence that comes through. Whether or not I'm on the air right now.
You are on the air.
Okay.
I would probably respond by asking you to do it now, but since you won't.
Well, hold on. If you
No, she doesn't want to do it now. She can't contact my grandfather now.
Would you do a reading with somebody on the show off the air at your leisure for an hour? Would you do that, Lisa?
Absolutely.
So why don't we let somebody do a reading? I'll do a reading. I got a dead relative.
Just call. Not tonight. I'm going to sleep. It's 5 a.m.
Yeah, I'll call her later. I'll let you do a reading with me for an hour.
Absolutely.
No, why don't you do it with a salesman or something?
Right.
Someone she can't research.
Okay, great.
All right.
Anybody. It doesn't even matter. Just don't even tell the story. It doesn't matter. Anybody.
And listen, you can contact, if you believe in Lysa Moskowitz, after this discussion, and you believe that she has a power, because she certainly does, you can contact her, and for the price of $500, she will sit down with you face to face.
So disgusting.
Why is that disgusting? What did I say? That's a lie.
You're an artist. You're a master.
I said you will sit down for $500. Are you embarrassed by the price you charge?
I am not embarrassed.
So why can't I give it out?
But you know what? The way you know very much as how you present something.
How is that how I present it? I said she will sit down with you for $5. I got to tell people the price. When I have sponsors, they give the price out on the air.
If you go to the gas station, do you buy gas without knowing how much it is a gallon?
Howard?
Yes, hi.
Do you get paid for what you do?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and
very well, by the way.
Good about that?
I feel great about
We
it.
tell you what we're doing.
I tell you what I'm doing. I don't tell you I have special powers.
Well,
There's a big difference between, dude, there's a big difference between what I do and your wife does.
Really? How?
I don't tell people that I can talk to the dead for them.
Right, but I really do talk to the dead, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, you really do. I don't think you do, but that's just my opinion.
I do. Just like I don't have to think that you'd have to.
So why can't I say to my audience, for $500, you would sit down and talk to them? That's true, right?
That's in person. That's not the.
I understand that. Well, I was in the middle. You told me what I said was terrible. I don't think I've said anything wrong. I said, Lysa Mateu will sit down with you in person for $500.
$500.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
You don't think that's a lot of money?
Oh my God.
You don't think $500 for an hour reading is a lot of money?
You don't think $500 is a lot to talk to your grandmother?
You know what? Some people charge $1,000 for this, and some people charge $10,000.
All right. Well, you could take that up with your clients.
You know what?
I'm
After
giving
the
a plug.
reading, if somebody wants to give you $10,000, that's their business.
Yeah, exactly. So who cares? Well, what do you?
Well, why can't I tell the? Why is that insulting to you? What you charge?
It's
You
not
have it
insulting.
listed. I said,
not insulting.
if you
Don't
want,
make it a big deal.
So let me do the plug. You can.
That's not the plug. You know that, Howard. You're smart enough to know that.
I'm not smart enough to know that.
Yeah, of course.
That is a plug.
$500.
I didn't say. I said $500. Right.
Okay.
If you would like, I'll try the plug again. And if Lisa's offended by it, please stop me. If you would like a plug from Lysa Mateu, I mean a reading. And let me say something. If you would like to contact her for the price of $500.
Well, that's in person.
Let me finish the plug. For $500, they will do a reading face to face. Now, you might ask,
what do you get?
Can you get a reading? Will the spirits come through over the phone? And the answer is yes.
But wait a minute. There's
For
something
$300 for the hour. Robin, let me finish the plug. I must ask you to stop interrupting.
Go back to the $500 because you just think you're going to sit there, and if you could get it on the phone, why would you pay the $500? It is very special to sit in her presence.
Yes, because you could read her face.
And in all fairness, for those of you who don't make a lot of money, it's $60 by email.
Wait a minute, you jumped
I didn't
ahead.
get to that. $500 because you can see Lisa's face. By the way, where does this go on? In the house? Or do you have a special office?
In our house.
Okay, in the house. You can also see Lisa's house.
Yeah, there you go. You can see where your money goes.
And from what I understand, you can see Lisa's cats.
Right. Lisa's good looking, too, which is not a bad thing to look at.
Maybe that's where.
Some of these people charge $1,000 and they're not even good to look at. They look like gypsies.
You want to keep your eyes closed.
You get Whoopi Goldberg.
Right. So anyway, by the way, for $1,000 an hour, I'll probably paint your house if that interests you. I want to get a plug for myself.
I'll change your life.
But for $500 an hour, so you can sit there and watch her face. For an hour, it's $300 over the phone, so you can hear her voice. It's not as good as watching her face.
But
guess what? The spirits work through email. And that's only what?
60.
60. They can answer only one question, though, by email.
Is
Yeah,
that right?
make sure you remember this.
You only get one question by email?
And you know what? And when you do that, you get an incredible session. You make sure that you can connect with your loved ones.
Your loved ones. Now, that's the difference between what I do and you guys do.
Yeah, we make a profound difference in people's lives. What do you do, Howard?
I just entertain people, and I never claim to have superpowers.
Hey,
well, you know, some people don't. So, and it doesn't mean
Most people, you know what? I don't have any superpowers, and I suggest to everyone in this world, unfortunately, no one has these powers because we've never seen anybody exhibit them, except for, hey, I think I'm getting a vibe. I can't tell your grandmother's name. I asked you Chandra Levy's mother's name, and you could maiden name. You guys didn't know.
Howard, I got a question. Lisa, do I have to be spiritually connected to somebody? Like say I want to talk to my brother, okay. But what if I wanted to talk to Jimi Hendrix? Could you do that?
So you have to know things about him that no one else knows. So you know that for a fact that I didn't research it. So you would have to know something really personal that was not written about.
All right.
In other words, Jimmy's not calling you.
In other words, there are rules.
In the afterlife, there's also segregation. The rich live in a different place.
Yes.
I can't. Okay, thanks.
All right. Lysa Mateu. Thank you, Lisa. Well, she could be mad at me all she wants. I don't feel I've insulted her. I said I challenge what you're doing. She doesn't like to be challenged. And as far as I'm concerned, the Chandra Levy thing was brilliant.
And she continues to be brilliant. I was satisfied with the outcome.
So was I.
I am so glad that I did that, and now things are where they should be.
Jim,
Not
why
where you want them,
Jim, why are you never contacting anyone?
The only I just wait for telemarketers to contact me. I wonder if Lisa's going to drop dishes and step on them after she got off the phone.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry Lisa didn't make a believer out of me, but I'm sure there are people who aren't believers.
We did learn something. The people in your office are afraid of you and walk around fearing that they're going to lose their job.
Quite frankly, that's true.
Now, wait a second.
I think they're fearing Robin.
They spoke to her about that, or she got that vibe?
That's what she read about Howard.
She read that in my spirits.
Well, I'm afraid of you. Okay, fine.
Who isn't afraid of their boss?
What world do you live in where you're not afraid of your boss?
Is not wanting to do, you want to do the right thing for your boss. Is being afraid to do the wrong thing fearing your boss?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's right. Hey, anyway, thank you, Lisa. I'm sorry that you're angry with us, but I tried to have a discussion about it.
Please don't put a spell on us.
Yeah, don't put a spell on us if you do have powers. And we'll be back right after these words.